Hello and welcome back, everybody. I am Corey Van Castle Cook, also known as the Bearded Cinephile. Today, I'm going to be doing another trailer reaction, this time for one of my most anticipated films of 2023, and that is Killers of the Flower Moon, directed, of course, by the incredible, the incomparable Martin Scorsese. Also going to be starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro, and also Brendan Fraser. When it comes to directors, Scorsese is probably maybe my favorite director of all time. He's neck and neck pretty much with Steven Spielberg in terms of films. I mean, films that I love and absolutely love. And he's one of those directors that will absolutely get my butt in the seat no matter what he's doing. Spielberg's the same way. Christopher Nolan's another one, and like that's it in that situation. So I'm highly interested in pretty much any project he takes on, and I love the fact that he's so varied in what he does. You know, people get this misconception that he's always some type of a gangster filmmaker, and that's not. You know, he's done Raging Bull, he's done Taxi Driver, he's done The Last Temptation of Christ, he's done Silence, Kundun, you know, The Irishman, all these different kind of various stuff. And I like when he gets historical because he's definitely somebody who feels that connection to history and likes those little moments in America, which I'll get to in a moment. But the movie itself is based on a nonfiction book called same name, Killers of the Flower Moon, by David Gran. And I highly recommend, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead. I am a big fiction reader. I like to read a lot. I'm not a big nonfiction guy. This book is fantastic. It is riveting. It's like a novel all in itself. If you want to listen to the audiobook too, actor Will Patton did the voice for that. So it's fantastic. Take a look at that. But you know, we've been months and months and months and months with nothing but that stupid image, that one image that we have for Killers of the Flower Moon, where Leonardo DiCaprio is unrecognizable. But we finally got a chance to have this trailer drop, because the Cannes Film Festival is going on this week. And actually, it's going to premiere there, I believe, within the next couple days. And I think it's in competition, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a 3-hour and 20-minute movie. But let's get into it. Let's go ahead and do my trailer reaction, teaser trailer right now, to Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's watch. That's a crazy imagery. The story, by the way, is about a bunch of the Osage Indians who found oil and then were murdered, basically, by some nefarious dudes.
The Osage took their name from Missouri and Osage rivers.
Interesting accent.
Neokanska, children of the Middle Waters.
This set design. This looks like it's out of the 1920s. Look at that.
Move, said the great white
De Niro.
father.
Guess he's the great white father.
There are many, so
Indeed.
many hungry wolves. Can you find the wolves in this picture?
Oh, okay, so he's reading off that. Interesting. I know. Wow, it's just the music in this is just kind of chilling. This greed is an animal. Okay, yeah, that sure is. Straight cash, homie. Look, God, look at that imagery. Oh, there's Jesse Plemons. Shootouts. What the heck, man?
Can you find the wolves in this picture?
Oh, shit. What a way to end that. Boom, cut to title. Gladstone, Jesse Plemons. Eric Roth. Yeah. Dang. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Okay, so that, I mean, God, that looks awesome. And honestly, that's kind of like the perfect teaser. You really don't know much about the story. It almost kind of prompts you to go and look at, okay, what's this based on? You know, you get the sense of time frame, which was, you know, kind of the early 20s. You got DiCaprio coming off from a train, apparently, you know, having just been to World War I. We know it's in Oklahoma. But the costumes, the set design. I mean, that you feel like you just stepped into that period in time in the 1920s. It just looks fascinating. Jesse Plemons with maybe the biggest freaking cowboy hat I've seen in quite some time. Um, it's one of those things that I mean, just I, I'm always one who gets in kind of the technical aspects of stuff, of the lighting, scenery, music, all that. And again, this just looks like an impeccable masterpiece. I know it's early to say that because, the thing isn't even out till October, although it is, like I said, debuting at Cannes within the next week here. But I mean, look at the players you got. You got Thelma Schoonmaker, who's back as editor. She's edited, I think, every Martin Scorsese film since the early 70s. She is honestly the GOAT. She's the greatest of all time as far as I'm concerned. And then, God, Rodrigo Prieto is, again, doing the cinematography, which he's done Silence. He's done, he did The Irishman. I remember the last time he did he do The Irishman? I think he did The Irishman. Yeah, and he also did a Brokeback Mountain, so he's worked with them before, worked with Marty before, has Rodrigo Prieto. And yeah, again, the cinematography, it's almost always going to be guaranteed that the cinematography is going to be top notch when it comes to Martin Scorsese film, which does indeed look like it's set on film, but more than anything, this is kind of like a vibe. You don't get too much of the sense of the story. Very different look for Leonardo DiCaprio. Kind of doesn't have that Playboy image type thing working anymore. It's almost like a muted tone. Looks like he maybe put on some weight for this role. So that's quite interesting as well. Music sounds great, and just the imagery was so. Just the starting out with the dancing Indians, and you feel like this is going to be a powerful exploration of that moment in time, where it's basically the idea of these certain group of people, specifically the character Robert De Niro is playing William Hale. That didn't like the fact that the Osage Indians had basically got rich overnight, and then these murders start happening. So I'm sure this is going to tie into a lot of the history, the negative history that goes on between the Native Americans and the United States, and some of the things that have gone on over the years. The book, in fact, tackles that. You can't really extricate the two, but in terms of hype. This looks just fantastic, and it looks like, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Marty decided to use a lot of indigenous peoples in the roles, which, I mean, I listen, honestly, that's a good, big step forward for Hollywood. 20, 30 years ago, it was basically just picking whoever in this case, and that's not the way it should be anymore, especially when there's quite a few excellent Native American actors out there. But this looks fantastic. I'll be there day one. I don't care that it's almost 3.5 hours long. It sounds like it's going to get a nice run in the theater before it drops on Apple TV. This is a $200 million film where they basically gave Marty carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wanted, which sometimes can be a good thing and sometimes can be a bad thing. That same thing kind of happened with Netflix and The Irishman, which for the most part I think is a winner. But you sometimes you need to have that little studio interference to kind of rein you in. But I in Marty we trust at this point. He could make a reproduction of Deep Throat, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and I'd probably be down for that movie. So this looks fantastic. It looks great. I can't wait till October. There's so many good movies coming out here this year, this summer, this fall. I'm so excited. God, I love movies. I'm so glad the movies are back here in 2023 after the long COVID winter. But what did you guys think? Are you excited about this? Were you excited before? Are you not excited now? Are you more excited now that you've actually seen the trailer and we finally have something other than that one stupid image? Tell me what you think. Hit me up in the comments below. Always like and subscribe if you can. Thank you very much. Again, I am Corey Van Castle Cook, also known as the Bearded Cinephile, and I'll see you everybody next time.